Hi, and welcome to another episode of Hey, have you read this book? The title of today's book is Growing Up Amish, written by Ira Wagler. This true story is about what it is like to grow up Amish and how hard it is to leave the Amish. Ira was born into the old order Amish community of Aylmer in Ontario. He was the ninth child of 11 children, 5 girls and 6 boys. There are about 250,000 Old Order Amish worldwide. They have strict rules, including no cars, no electricity, and no telephones in the house. Married men have full beards, but no moustache. The women wear long homemade dresses. The men's clothes are also homemade with buttons and not zippers on their trousers. There are varying rules in different Amish communities, some having stricter rules than others. When Amish from other communities came to visit, they seemed odd to Ira when he was growing up. Even though Ira grew up with no TV or computers, he wasn't bored. He went to school, had many brothers and sisters for company, and started working on the family farm at 3 years of age. The only time he was bored was at church, where the service went on for 3 hours or more. From time to time, some families would leave the Aylmer community to go to live in another Amish community, looking for where the rules were more relaxed, or sometimes where the rules were stricter. Ira's older sister left her home in Aylmer, looking for freedom. Then she was followed by her brother. Their parents begged and threatened them to return, but it was no use. Their father, who edited and wrote for an Amish magazine, was a leader in the Aylmer community and in the wider Amish community. His children leaving was a blow to his ego and reputation. After the second son left Aylmer, Ira's dad tried to keep the rest of the family together by moving the whole family to another community. He decided on Bloomfield in Iowa, a more relaxed community. At Bloomfield, Ira joined a group of 5 other young men. They all longed for adventure and freedom. One day at 2 a.m., when Ira was 16, he left a note to his parents and walked away. He boarded a bus to Nebraska and found work on a ranch. Soon he was joined by the other 5 young men from his group in Bloomfield. They all landed jobs on ranches in Valentine. They worked hard, but also partied and drank. But after a few months, Ira was missing the security of being with his family and the quiet life at Bloomfield. Ira and his buddies returned, 1 or 2 at a time, and were all welcomed back into their families and the Amish community. Ira was determined to live the life of an Amish, but he soon started to feel miserable. Over the next decade, he left and returned several times and even tried to join another Amish community. Ira believed that if he died in the outside world, he would suffer eternally in hell. This was what he had learned from an early age from his father and the Amish preachers. He just couldn't see a way out of his dilemma, either to be miserable on earth or to suffer in hell later. His mother was full of sadness every time he left, then joyful when he returned. She was also heartbroken when Ira's younger brother left the Amish. Ira's father was disappointed that moving to Bloomfield had not stopped 2 more sons from leaving the Amish. This story is about a young man's inner turmoil about leaving the Amish. He could not find contentment living within the Amish community, nor could he find peace in the outside world. He tried so hard to do what seemed right and what his parents wanted him to do, but in the end he had to find out for himself which direction he himself wanted to go, even though he knew that he would bring pain and sadness to his family. Reading this story will take you on an emotional journey, while learning about the Amish way of life. The message I get from this story is that we need to let go of our children when they grow up. For their happiness and sanity, they need to choose their own destiny, even if that means leaving the faith they were brought up with. We should try our best not to make them feel guilty if they don't follow the path we had in mind for them, even if we think we know better. They are individuals and they will find their own way. Thanks for watching.